What is going on, everybody? I am the FD Guru, bringing to you guys a Tuesday NBA edition of my DFS podcast. We have 10 games on the main slate tonight. The in-season tournament is continuing. We've only seen it on Friday so far this year. Now it's going into Tuesday and Fridays. Although, this in-season tournament was supposed to, make things more legit early on in the regular season, and we're getting, just as much injury news as we do on any other ordinary season. So it doesn't seem to be really incentivizing these players to play through any sort of their injuries. But it changes things up, I guess. But we got a lot of injuries to talk about in this video. Like the video, subscribe. Half the injuries are, we're not going to know the news until later after this video, but we do have a good portion of information to make some solid value plays. Doing a free Guru credit code in this video. Like the video, I'll give you that code on my website after the first couple of my plays. Some huge value already opening up. A couple of guys we want to keep an eye out on are Joel Embiid is questionable with an unbelievable matchup against the Pacers. We got LeBron James questionable in that last game at 10:30 Eastern. Probably not going to end up making a difference on this slate because we're not going to know the information. Steph Curry is questionable, another late game. So that 3-game after-hours slate that I'm going to play is going to, rely on some injury news as well. We just got word on the Spurs guys being out, Trey Jones and Keldon Johnson, so that's going to open up stuff. Gordon Hayward and Brandon Miller, the Hornets just came out and said that they're both questionable now, so the list goes on, and things always change up. We got Trae Young out because of the second birth of his son today, so that'll lead us right into our first play, smashing DeJounte Murray here at 8,600. Needs 43 fantasy points to hit value. He's projected like 45. He's going to just see all the usage in the world. This game has become one of the better games to pick from now. Atlanta at Detroit. It's a big over-under. It's like a 3 or 4 point spread. So Murray looks really, really good here. He starts alongside Trae Young. They're probably going to move him to point guard, and then Bogdanovich starting in Trae Young's place at shooting guard. He's the favorite to start over anyone else, but we'll have to see. Murray looks good at 8,600. His ceiling is 60 fantasy points tonight with the usage he's going to see. He's been hitting value in a majority of games this year with Trae Young, so he's in good form. He's going to see 35 to 38 minutes, and he's just going to be one of the more popular spend-ups on this slate. Whenever Trae Young is out, like we saw last year, DeJounte Murray is an obvious play because, he's just not priced that high with Trae Young playing. So now that Young's out, we're going to take advantage of that $8,600 salary. It's a chalky play, but it's a needed play here tonight. Shooting guard, we're going to stick with the Hawks. I'm going to look at Bogdanovich. I don't really care if he doesn't start. He's the favorite to start for Trae Young. If he doesn't, he comes off the bench anyways and sees a bunch of minutes. He plays 28 minutes off the bench. Maybe not on average. We can average him to like 25 to 28 minutes. But 5,700 is a fantastic price on him. Trae Young plays 36 minutes a game. That has to be, spread out somewhere else. And it's not going to be spread out to DeJounte Murray because Murray already plays 37 minutes a game. It's going to go to guys like Sadiq Bey, Bogdanovich, and then whoever else they have on their bench. But we can assume that Bogdanovich is going to be the number one guy who gets those Trae Young minutes. So we can expect him for 35 minutes tonight. And at that price at 5,700, he looks like a lock to score 25 plus fantasy points to hit his value. He's done that in a lot of games this year, coming off the bench with Trae Young. So with no Trae Young, Bogdanovich looks good. It's not that I hope he doesn't start, but I almost hope he doesn't start because I think his ownership will go down where he's going to play just as many minutes off that Hawks bench and probably finish this game out. Whether he starts or not, I don't really care. He's going to be, presumed to play 32 to 36 minutes tonight with no Trae Young. Looks like a really, really good pairing with DeJounte Murray. Small forward, let's go to Jeremy Grant. Malcolm Brogdon continues to be out for the Blazers. Grant becomes the number one scoring option for this Trailblazers team. He was $6,700 last slate, and he was just way too cheap, and he's too cheap again tonight. He was popular last slate. He's going to be popular again tonight. It's a great matchup in Utah. Pretty tight split. Pretty tight spread. Pretty high over-under. He looks pretty good at 6,700. He needs just 33 fantasy points to hit value. He's averaging that on the year, coming off of a 61 spot a couple of games ago. He just looks really, really good. He's going to be a lock for over 30 fantasy points. I think he's projected for like 37. So this is a great play. On FanDuel, he can play both forward positions, small forward and power forward. So just an unbelievable play with the usage he's going to see. We can lock him in for probably 25 real points tonight against a pretty bad Utah Jazz defense. Going over to my website, fd-guru.com, I'm going to give you that code for 10 Guru credits in this video. Again, just like the video, make sure you're subscribed. Go over to the shop page on my website. This is where you buy all the usual credits. There's a code bar. These credits, if you're new to my site, get you all content that I post. NBA for the main slate, as you can see here, FanDuel, DraftKings, NFL, and then anything else I post on this site, like after-hours slates, that will be there tonight. You got to be signed into an account. If you don't have an account, you can just, confirm an email. It takes a minute. No credit card required. You get bonus credits for signing up as well. Just type in the date, all caps, NOV14NBA. All caps, NOV14NBA in the coupon barcode, and you will get 10 free credits into your account. Hopefully you can use those towards something great tonight. We've been on an NBA heater, some big takedowns, or almost takedowns, I should say, over the past few days. Yesterday we cashed in again with the hybrid and cash teams. Let's keep it going tonight. Great slate tonight, 10 games. Let's look for that full sweep on this slate. Power forward, we're going to go back to a guy that let a lot of people down last slate, and he's got the same matchup tonight. This time he's at home. Zion Williamson. It's not that he specifically let us down. The Pelicans in general got blown out by the Mavericks. It was a 3-point spread. They lost by like 25. Kyrie Irving couldn't miss a shot. Doncic couldn't miss a shot. I'm going right back to the well here. It's a fantastic play at 8,000. We can expect him to get 40 fantasy points. They're still without CJ McCollum. It's going to be him and Brandon Ingram as the the 1 and 2 pieces in this offense. And we can just expect a close game. The NBA is hard to predict. Sometimes there's blowouts when there shouldn't be, but we cannot fade good plays because we have a weird feeling there's going to be a blowout. If Vegas thought so, they wouldn't put this game at a 3-point spread again. It was a wild game last game. I expect this game to be a lot closer. I expect Williamson to feast in a very, very favorable matchup. He's got Grant Williams and Derek Lively on him. He should be able to do a lot of things tonight. He's going to have the ball in his hands often. Love this play at 8,000. He hasn't really shown a ton of upside yet this year. He did have a 50 spot against the Nuggets. But I think, me and the entire DFS world, we're waiting for Zion to really break out here. He's playing big minutes. Again, the game should stay close, so we can expect him for 32 to 34 minutes. And he's just shaping out to be one of the better value plays on this slate at 8,000. He was, they had the same matchup a couple of days ago against the Mavericks, and he was very high owned. I think people are going to get to him again tonight. I do not care that the Pelicans got blown out. I expect a close game tonight. I expect Zion to, show out at home in front of the fans and have a little bit of a revenge game after getting absolutely shit on by the Mavericks just a couple of days ago. And then for center, let's go back to a not so comfortable, but, a sense-making play here. Kelly Olynyk can play power forward and center. 4,500. His price hasn't gone up since Walker Kessler gone down. He's always projected well. He's going to come off the bench. They've been starting Keontae George at shooting guard, and he's been, looking pretty good as the real point guard Jordan Clarkson's mainly the shooting guard. They slide John Collins to the 5, Lauri Markkanen to the 4. And, Olynyk comes off the bench, but he's the first guy off this bench. If he plays well, he's going to play 25 minutes. If he doesn't play well, he still plays 20 minutes with no Walker Kessler. He can easily be a fantasy point per minute kind of guy. He needs 22 to hit value tonight. We've seen games this year, even in a small sample size with Walker Kessler playing 27, 31, 32. He hit value last game in just 22 minutes. He doesn't have to do much. Now, if he was reliant on, scoring the ball or rebounding the ball, it wouldn't be so comfortable to pick him. But, with all the things he can do in the fantasy world, he doesn't need to do much to hit 22 fantasy points. He contributes to every stat category. He scores a little bit. He can rebound. He can assist. 8 assists in a game. 8 rebounds last game. He can get steals and blocks. He has a 3-steal game. Doesn't necessarily need to even score points. And that's a good feeling when you're picking a cheap value guy. I like Olynyk. I'm not saying he's a lock right now. Things are going to open up, as we know. But as of right now in the early afternoon in this video, I do like Olynyk. It's huge that he can play both power forward and center. Thought I'd give you guys a cheap value play to round out this video. That'll do it here today, guys. Like the video. Put in that Guru credit code. Let's have a huge NBA slate tonight. Main slate and after hours. Head over to my website, 6:30 Eastern, 30 minutes before lock. I should have everything up. And again, subscribe. Let's get it. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace.